Our guest on Can Do FM today is Jasmine, and now you've come on from a little group called Tiny Talks. Jasmine, I'm saying a little group because it's got the word tiny in it. It might be a huge group for all I know. Welcome to Can Do FM.
Thank you for having me, Andrea.
You're very welcome. Right, come on then. Tell us all about Tiny Talks. What is this about?
So we're a baby group suitable from birth up to 2 years old, and we do baby sign language. So the people who come to the group are small, but it's kind of a reasonable size group. We have about 12 to 15 people in on a normal day when obviously we're not in isolation. And we currently have classes in Barrow and Ulverston.
Yeah.
And it's me that comes to teach them. But obviously at the moment we're doing classes online with the current situation.
Okay, so why do you need to teach children sign language?
Well, it's brilliant really, because it's kind of acts as like a stepping stone from when they're obviously tiny and they can't speak yet to when they start forming their first words. It just kind of bridges that gap where they're getting frustrated because they have their needs and they know that they want, say, milk, or they want to go to sleep if they're tired, but they can't tell you. All they can do is kind of cry, essentially. So the signing really helps to kind of relieve that frustration, both for you and for your baby, because they can kind of use the signs that we teach to then show when they are, say, hungry or thirsty or tired, etc.
Oh, that's an interesting concept. Right, okay. So have there been any sort of studies on this? Has it led to sort of a better psychological development for children that they can express themselves earlier?
Yeah, definitely. There's lots of studies, and as a company, Tiny Talk has won quite a few awards because it was kind of like a groundbreaking thing back 18 years ago when Katie, the founder, she started up because she was a teacher of the deaf. And when she had her first son, she thought, hey, I'll try this with my baby. And then since then, there's been lots of studies done. And like regularly from all of our class families, we hear kind of just how amazing it is that people have been able to communicate with their babies from such a young age, which you think is just crazy because they can't talk, obviously. And then it's lots of studies have been done as well into kind of how it does actually aid communication, because some people worry that obviously it might kind of hinder it essentially because they're using the signs rather than the speech.
Yeah.
But the two go absolutely hand in hand. We have a saying at Tiny Talk, see it, say it, sign it. So you've always got to make sure you're saying the word at the same time as signing it. And say if you were having milk, you would have the bottle there, or if you're about to breastfeed, so that they know that that is the link that we're making. So it's absolutely kind of amazing that they can kind of make those connections, and it doesn't hinder speech at all. A lot of our families say it really helps it as well. So
that's really great.
It's so crazy, amazing.
Yeah, I'd love to see that in action actually, and I may well actually see if I can come down to one of your groups in the future. That would be good. So you've been operating via Zoom links, I presume, or some such things over the lockdown period.
Yeah, we've been using Facebook Live because that way the families still get to have some privacy. Because I imagine a lot of people have been just staying in their pajamas and they don't necessarily want to be on video. But that means that they're still able to sit and watch it from home and kind of get involved. And there's obviously the comments section, so they can kind of still talk to us that way and we can respond. But it just gives families that little bit of privacy. Rather than having to be on the video, which I know everyone is not keen on.
Lovely. And now are you starting to have your groups again, but socially distanced? Are you able to do that?
No, not really. We're following the guidelines as things are being released, but the current situation is that you're only allowed groups of 6 people kind of socially distanced indoors. And because we sing loads of nursery rhymes, singing is kind of a no-go, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
So currently we're still running our classes online, and we'll be doing throughout the summer holidays, I'll be offering some kind of one-off classes. We don't really have a term of classes during summer. And then September, I don't really know. We're kind of just waiting and seeing what the situation is then. If the weather stays nice, I'm hoping I might be able to do some outdoor classes throughout the summer holidays, because that would be really nice to be able to actually see people in person, but with a bit more space.
Yeah.
But yeah, currently we are still online, and there'll be kind of classes throughout the summer as well. Yeah.
How can people get in touch with you then, if this is something that your parents out there thinking that might be something they want to get involved in? What's your contact?
Well, I've got a Facebook page, which is Tiny Talks South Cumbria, because I cover, like, I live in Barrow, but I cover all the way kind of round to Grange and Windermere in my territory. And so it's Tiny Talk South Cumbria. And then if you go on the main Tiny Talk website, you can then kind of put your postcode in and you can find me that way. And there's my email address on there as well. But Facebook, just pop me a message via Facebook's probably the easiest way for people.
Right, that's fascinating stuff. Good luck with that into the future, and please keep in touch with Can Do FM.
Fabulous, thank you.